Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you, as it always is, and I hope you're doing well. The wait is no longer, the time is well and truly upon us. It's Wimbledon, that's right. We've all been looking forward to this for quite some time. I know that day one, round one, we've got quite a lot of matches to go through today. As always, we'll be sure to touch on each and every one. For the sake of speed, we'll touch on some a little more than others. We've got quite a few big favourites today, and you know what I always say, it is round one. You've got to see who wants to be here and who doesn't. With it being a Grand Slam, you'd like to assume everyone wants to be here, but you know how it goes. You sure do. But we'll waste no more time with it. Before we get started, like the video. If you would, get yourself subscribed to the channel. If you're new, get your predictions in as we go along. Anything I'm going for will be in that pinned comment, so be sure you're checking that out. I'll have a couple of outrights in there and whatnot. But yeah, let me know what you're going for. Share with the group. Don't be shy. Let's get it on. Let's waste no more time with it. Right then, so how are we going to go about these today? There's quite a few. If there's any that I missed, look, we're going to miss a couple. Like I say, some just aren't even worth our time. The really, really big favourites, we'll either wrap them up. Well, we'll probably wrap them up at the end. I'll put them in a little section of their own because, quite frankly, there's not a lot to discuss about them. But first off for us, it's going to be Mannarino and Christopher O'Connell. I'd probably go with Mannarino on this one. I wouldn't be betting him. But if I was picking a side, it probably would be the Frenchman on this. Christopher O'Connell is on a 3-game losing streak, and we did see these play each other not that long ago. When I say not that long ago, literally a couple of weeks ago over in Den Bosch. 6-1, 6-3 to Mannarino. Now, I use the same formula with Mannarino that I do with Gael Monfils, although Gael Monfils is probably a lot more trustworthy on the day. I never really know what to expect. Very low expectations from these guys at this point in the career. The fact that they can still turn up and put in a shift in a tournament like this is still an achievement in itself. So like I say, how far the year, I'm not too sure. I do still think Mannarino, well, I know for sure that he's more than capable of taking out Christopher O'Connell on the grass, as we've just seen. But it is a best of 5, so just approach it with a little bit of caution. I do think the over 3.5 sets will be a dominant play throughout, especially the first week, maybe throughout the majority of the tournament. So if you're feeling anything like that, as I said at the start, do let me know in the comments. But I'd lean with Mannarino on that. Like I say, not going to waste too much time on these. It is the first round after all. And then we've got Bellucci, Ollie Crawford. I suppose you'd have to go with Bellucci in this, right? I know prior to Eastbourne, he was quite dump. He was playing rather crap, to say the least, but he most definitely picked up a little bit of steam over in London. Came through qualifying, flew through that, beat Quentin Hallis, bumped into B.Harris in the round of 16, and he pulled off a couple of upsets as well. I think that one was a bit of an upset, wasn't it? Yeah, Bellucci 1.6, couldn't get that one done. He probably should get it done against Ollie Crawford. I'm pretty sure this kid was playing ITF games not that long ago. Yeah, how much you'd expect from them on the day. He's had one hell of a season. I'll give him that, 44-12 already, but is he used to this calibre of opponent? It's not exactly, top 10, top 20, or even top 50 for that matter. 73 in the world, Bellucci. It's most definitely a winnable game for Ollie Crawford on the day. It is his home slam. There's a lot of these Brits today that you may or may not have heard of, and the prices are a little bit closer than what you may or may not have expected. With it being Wimbledon, with them being Brits, with it being the grass, some of the prices may be just a little bit inflated, so just keep an eye on that. I do think 1.36 probably a little bit steep for Bellucci, considering he's been absolute dog shit the past couple of months up until, well, the past week. I think it's a little bit of a price to pay. But then again, I mean, barely 2-1 dog for Ollie Crawford, that ain't enough for me, unfortunately, so I would have to go with the Italian in that. And then we've got ourselves an All-American shootout on the British grass. We've got Tien and the Basavareddy. Now, these have played each other twice before, both of them going the way of Tien. Both of them last year, both of them on the hard court, one outdoor, one indoor. Never faced off on the grass. 3-3 for Tien this year, 2-2 for Nishesh. Pretty much just got to go off what we've seen recently. I suppose I do think Tien is, I'm not gonna say a lot better, because I'm not too sure how much better he is, but I do know that he's better than Nishesh. I do. He's just a lot more solid from what I've seen over the past season or two, especially as of late as well. He looked fairly decent. He looked decent enough over in Mallorca. He got it done against Justin Engel, although it weren't really that convincing of a performance, but then getting it done against Ben Shelton in straight sets, you've got to like that. You've got to respect that. And then I feel like he done pretty much all he could do against Corentin Moutet in the quarterfinals. He should well fancy himself for this. I would anyway. He had a much better showing out in Mallorca than what Basavareddy did. He got absolutely destroyed, absolutely bullied by Hamad Medjedovic, and we kind of knew he would. Decent enough in qualifying, I don't know, 1.4, 1.5 roundabout. Tiny little bit of money coming in on Tien, I suppose. I kind of expect it. Yeah, I imagine he gets this one done, although I'm not picking that with a lot of conviction. So we'll crack on to Vic Kopriva and Jordan Thompson. If you skip the intro and you think, wow, you missed this, you missed that, like I said, I will get to these big favourites in a minute. Well, when we wrap it up. What do you want me to do with Jarry Lehechka at 1.006? You're essentially losing money if you bet on him and he wins, so we'll sweep them up towards the end. But Vic Kopriva, Jordan Thompson. I think at first glance, the initial thought would be, yeah, we take Jordan Thompson on the grass in a spot like this. Happy days, I wouldn't call you crazy whatsoever. Now, is it just me? I don't know. He's struggling. He's struggling in these matches, man. He's struggling to get wins. 8-9 on the season. That's fucking worrying. That's concerning. Now, albeit he has had a couple of injury concerns, and it just seems like whenever Jordan Thompson starts to get him back to somewhat of a rhythm, it strikes again. It's rather unfortunate. I will give him that. 1.35 to 1.4 round about. Now this opened up, I seen this open up around 1.28, 1.3. Now it's touching over 1.4, 1.45 depending. Quite a bit of cash coming in on Vic Kopriva. Now I wouldn't mind going for Vic Kopriva as a dog in this, but it is just a shot in the dark, totally. I don't know how he's going to act over on the grass. He's went 1-1 so far this season. But then again, Jordan Thompson's went 1-2, so I suppose it's slightly better, only just, but, you know, it is what it is. He managed to get past Tsitsipas in qualifying for Mallorca, and you're probably sitting there going, what? Yeah, it weren't Tsitsipas, it was the brother Tsitsipas, that's right, good old Petros. And he got beat by Ethan Quinn in qualifying, but he did manage to take a set off him, and I thought Ethan Quinn looked fairly solid in the match that I watched of him. Jordan Thompson, 2-game losing streak, 1-2 Munar, that he had to pull out of over in Queens, and 1-2 Gabe Diallo in Den Bosch. No shame in that. Like we've said about all of them, I lost to Diallo or Zizou Bergs in that tournament. Regardless of how it looked on the day, you can't fault it in hindsight. And I said it the day after, and I'll say it again. I think Jordan Thompson pretty much give Gabe Diallo his best run over in Den Bosch, or one of them anyway. Can't remember all of them. Remember most of them. I remember that one being close. He is much more proven on the grass than Vic Kopriva. You're going back to, say, mid-May, something like that. Mid-clay season. We've seen him do a little bit of damage over on the dirt. But like I said, I ain't seen too much on the grass to suggest that he's going to do much against Jordan Thompson providing he's fully fit and good to go, so I would have to pick the Australian in that one. And then moving on, we've got Zizou Bergs. We're making good time here, folks. I thought this was going to take fucking forever, but you know me, you don't need me to drag these out for the first round. We all know how it is. I'll just allow me to keep reminding you that. But Zizou Bergs and L.Harris. Although L.Harris, I haven't seen this guy for what seems like forever. We're all more than aware of what Zizou Bergs can do on the grass. I'm quite aware of what L.Harris can do on the grass as well, if I'm being honest to you. Last time out, he had to pull out against Misolic over in Nottingham. Got it done against Valentin Royer in the first round. Zizou Bergs, ever since the run in Den Bosch getting to the final, he is now on a 4-game losing streak, including the one in the final. Obviously beaten by Gabe Diallo, straight sets. Karen Khachanov, straight sets over in Germany after that. Played Joao Fonseca in Eastbourne, took the first set, and then just shat the bed immensely. Got bageled and then 6-3. And then he's played Khachanov again in an exhibition. When was this? He must have played him, in the Hurlingham exhibition. What the fuck are he doing? Anyway, he's been beat by Khachanov again. I didn't even notice that. That just caught me off guard. But, maybe that doesn't hold as much weight. Maybe it holds no weight whatsoever. It is an exhibition right before Wimbledon, so who gives a fuck about that, right? But it still stands. 4-game losing streak. I ain't seen much. Like I said, I just haven't seen much. Or either I haven't seen much, or he's just flew right under my radar. Has he been residing on the Challenger Tour pretty much this season? L.Harris, I would assume so. It's a tough one, innit? Is it really a tough one? Am I just being retarded? It's got to be Zizou Bergs, right? It's got to be Zizou Bergs. It's fucking Wimbledon. It's fucking Wimbledon, folks. I shouldn't be sitting here going, is he going to be this? Is he going to do that? If you turn up to Wimbledon and you don't want to play, like visibly do not want to be here, you should be fucking banned for the next year. It's as simple as that. I think it'll be a good game. Could be a little bit closer than what some may expect. I mean, 1.45 to 1.5 straight off the bat. That's a little bit closer than what I would have thought, given what we've seen from Zizou Bergs the past couple of weeks. I would lean towards him. I definitely wouldn't be picking him because I do know he's more than capable of putting in an absolute shitter from time to time. But I couldn't pick L.Harris in that. I couldn't. I've barely seen him all season. And with that being said, he's went, 8 wins? 8 and 11? Yeah. Nah, I'm afraid not. 23 and 17 for Zizou Bergs. It's starting to neutralise itself. It was a lot better than that, but I think he's a lot more trustworthy on the surface at best. And then we've got Cam Norrie, Roberto Bautista Agut. Should be an interesting one. This should be an interesting one. If this was, prior to grass season, this is one of the matches where you would have went, oh, absolutely not. Not even bothering, wasting no time with this. But Bautista Agut has most definitely piqued our interest since we've come over to the grass, more specifically over in Queens and then in Mallorca last week. Djokovic, Cam Norrie, currently on a 3-game losing streak, 1-2 Djokovic. See, and then Jakub Mensik in Queens, and then got upset. And I mean, that kind of was a big upset, was it not, against B.Harris over in Eastbourne last week? Didn't see that one coming whatsoever. Can you trust him in this one after that? I'm not so sure, man. I'm not so sure. Bautista Agut, I can't even believe him saying this after the start of the season he had, but you can't deny it. You can't deny he is most definitely in his comfort zone on the grass. Well, he was in Queens and he was in Mallorca. These courts in Wimbledon, a little bit quicker than the ones in Mallorca. Just a little bit slower, I'd say, than the one in Queens. A little bit slower than the ones in Eastbourne as well. They're super fucking fast, but these are still slick, still quicker than what you'd expect. Deceivingly quick is the phrase I'm looking for. Look, Bautista Agut turns up and does what he's done the past couple of weeks. He'll beat Cam Norrie, and he's a dog in this as well. call it evens for Bautista Agut over 3.5 sets seems to be the fucking ideal pick in this. I don't know about you, that just seems to be somewhat of a cop-out, but a very easy one at best. Don't see either one drilling the other in straight sets, like I say. Cam Norrie just barely a favourite, and I wouldn't be taking him. He couldn't take one off B.Harris, and you know, it depends what way you look at that. I remember some people in the comments saying he looked very uninspired. He looked like he weren't trying until he did, and it looked like he could have done more. But if that's how you're going to perform, if you're going to try, then not trying this and that, you can't trust it. I really can't. Bautista Agut, win or lose, I'm pretty certain he's going to turn up. Back off the back of the form that he's currently riding as well. He'll give this one a very, very decent go. I'm sure of that. Look at Bautista Agut for a set or two. Take him for a couple sets. Take the over 3.5. I'd be surprised if RBA beats Cam Norrie in straight sets just as the same as I'd be surprised as if Cam Norrie was to beat him in straight sets. So that's just food for thought. Oh, fuck yeah. Right then, who's next? Who's next then? Where are you? Let's be having you. We've got Holger Rune. Good old Holger Rune. Nicholas Jarry. And Holger Rune around 1.3. Do we like that? Do we ever like that? Fucking absolutely not. Will I probably take him on a parlay? Because I can't help myself? Probably. I don't know. Probably. I hope not. I hope I'm not reduced to having to take fucking Holger Rune today. I mean, there's plenty of games. Surely not. Surely he gets this one done. Surely he gets this one done. He just played Jack Draper over in the Hurlingham exhibition as well. I didn't even know this weren't even on the tour calendar, that's why. Completely slipped by me. 2-1 as well. They have just went 2-1. Is that just a set each and then like a big tiebreaker in the third? Is that how they do that? Okay then. That changes things slightly. I don't really care about that one. My main concern with Holger Rune was the match against Roberto Bautista Agut in the quarter-final of Queens. And I know I've just said, you'll be sitting there going, you've just said Bautista Agut was really good and he's been in great form. Yeah, I know, he has. He really has. And he was, and he played fantastic against Holger Rune, but fuck me, Holger Rune done what he tends to do more often than not when you don't want him to, and he just makes it 10 times harder for himself. Just going off how he played prior to that match against Mackenzie McDonald, you remember that? He come out the first set and he looked like arse, and then he basically looked over to his box, said how much time have I got? An hour 10 minutes, and he just pegged him into the fucking ground, just aced the shit out of him. I've never seen anything like it. And then you come up against Bautista Agut, you can barely keep on in the court. The level really does fluctuate with this kid. I'm pretty certain he's better than Nicholas Jarry. He's just better. He's better on the grass, he's just better. He's got a higher ceiling. But Nicholas Jarry is currently on a 3-game winning streak. He did have to come through qualifying for this. All of them in straight sets as well. Pavel Kotov, Joseph Kovaluk and Lucas Klein. Solid shit from Nicholas Jarry. I'm worried, as I always am, and I always will be, for Holger Rune, because he should be winning this. These are the games he should be winning. Early days in the slams, it shouldn't even be a question. But there will always be, just, if anything, just a shred of doubt. Maybe a couple of shreds. A fistful of shreds of doubt when it comes to Holger Rune. And look, I know Nicholas Jarry hasn't exactly set the tour ablaze with the season he's had. Let's be real. 13 wins, 16 losses so far. He's most definitely clawed that back. That was well worse than that a few months ago. 22-14 for Holger Rune, 2-2 on the grass, 6-3 for Nicholas Jarry. He's already put in a better record on the grass in the short time we've been on it than what he did on the hard court and what he did on the clay. Fucking nuts. Little bit of concern for Holger Rune. I'd love him to win, obviously. I wouldn't be opposed a Nicholas Jarry upset in this. As we all know, if this guy comes to play and he serves well, he'll be very, very difficult to break. very difficult to deal with. We could be in for a long one, folks. We could be in for a long one. Ultimately, I'd go with Holger Rune to win that, just because I feel like he should be winning it. But if you're betting it, I wish you the best of luck. You are a braver person than I am. I couldn't go anywhere near that one personally. I've got Alexei Popyrin, Arthur Fery. It's got to be Alexei Popyrin. I feel dirty. I feel like a dirty man having to admit it, but it would have to be Alexei Popyrin in this one. Arthur Fery, like a lot of the other young Brits in this one, although they found themselves in the main draw for Wimbledon, probably the most prestigious, well, undoubtedly the most prestigious slam on the calendar, by far the best tournament on the calendar as well. Is he ready for the step up in level against someone like Alexei Popyrin? I wouldn't have thought so. Arthur Fery 461 in the world, whereas Alexei Popyrin's just chilling outside the top 20, sitting at 22 to be precise. Arthur Fery's good. He's good. If he weren't that much, I'd just say to you, look, it is what it is. But he's probably a lot better than what a lot would give him credit for. Kylian Xhaka, Hugo Blanchet, Fabio Fognini over in Nottingham took a set off Terence Atman. Ended up getting beat in that one. But prior to that tournament, like I said, like a lot of them, residing on the ITF, the bouncing between ITF and Challenger level. So I imagine coming up against someone like Alexei Popyrin may just prove to be a bit too much of a task on the day for young Arthur. I'd love him to get it done. I'll definitely be cheering for him 100%. If Popyrin turns up the way he did against Zizou, Bergs and Den Bosch, I feel like anyone would fucking beat him putting in that performance, especially Arthur Fery. So don't count him out. Everyone's in with a shot. Everyone can beat everyone on the day. I just couldn't be going anywhere near it. Realistically, the level should speak in this, and Alexei Popyrin should prevail. And then, is this a big... Oh no, it's not. We can talk about this one. So we've got Valentin Royer, Stefanos Tsitsipas. I thought this was going to be amongst the very big favourites that we bundled together at the end, but it's actually not. Parlay peaceable, call it 1.3 for the Greek in this. Steph, you have to win, man. Steph, you have to win. Like, forget the bets and that. That's just all. That's just on the side for what we do on here. We just love the tennis, innit? Stefanos, you have to win this, man. Do not be getting sent home in the first round of Wimbledon. I will be fucking devastated if that happens. I would. You can't let that happen, man. 20-12 this season. That's solid. That's very fucking solid. Valentin Royer, 39 wins, 16 losses. This guy's been good too. Done the majority of the damage, if not all the damage, over on the clay. 3-1 on the grass. Did come through qualifying for this tournament. Couple of decent wins. Dropped a one set. That was in the first game. Tsitsipas has just played in that exhibition as well. He's just beat Big Foe. That went to 3. Can we say it went to 3? Went 2 and then the tiebreaker. It's whatever. You take from them what you will. I just want to look at it and be done with it and say, yeah, Tsitsipas wins this one. End of. But I'm not so sure. Man. It's been these very convincing wins have been few and far between as of late for Stefanos Tsitsipas, have they not? I mean, realistically, he should be munching on somebody like Valentin Royer, but the trust in Tsitsipas is fleeting. It really is. It's fleeting. It kills me to say it, but 1.25, it's just too much of a price to pay for me to find out if he's with it or not today. I'm not too sure. Over 3.5 sets, I imagine the price for that will be fucking spot on. You can't lose this, surely. Surely you cannot lose this. On the grass, first round, early doors in Wimbledon, Valentin Royer. Surely Tsitsipas is going to be too much. He's been here too many times. He's used to this. He's been in this spot time and time again. He's used to playing people 10 times better than Valentin Royer. I refuse to believe he's going to get beat in the first round of Wimbledon. I don't want to believe it anyway. Let's just leave it at that. And then who have we got next? That Francisco Cerundolo and Nuno Borges. Should be very, very interesting. Nonetheless, head-to-head is 1-0 to Cerundolo. That was actually at Wimbledon 2 years ago, 3-1. And it's quite fitting that as well, because I was literally just going to say I couldn't tell you who's going to win this one. I really couldn't. We all know Cerundolo is much more suited to the clay, although he has definitely improved on just the overall game this season. 8-4 on the hard court, 19-9 on the clay, 0-1 on the grass, 20-7 and 14 in total, as opposed to 23 and 24. Borges. I think we established last week and the week before that the grass basically ain't a strong suit. It's not a strong suit, but luckily for him, it's not Cerundolo's either. He is on a 3-game losing streak. We ain't seen him since Hal over in Germany. He got beat by Alex Michelsen. Did take a set off him. 3-game losing streak. Lajovic, Gabe Diallo, and Alex Michelsen just a 1-game on the grass. Nuno Borges, although he weren't that convincing over in Queens and in Eastbourne, a little bit better in Den Bosch until he bumped into Hugo Humbert. I'll say it again, I say it all the time, and I'll say it again. I always say, don't I, Nuno Borges loves to drop a set. No matter how good he's playing, he loves to drop a set, and especially with it being a best-of-5 setting, I imagine he's going to drop a set. He's a dog as well, so I think the bookies are thinking he's going to drop a set. But once again, luckily for Nuno Borges, so does Francisco Cerundolo, man. The one thing is guaranteed in this, it's just going to be unforced errors. The errors are going to be a spraying in this, you just know it. Francisco Cerundolo's another one. He can come out one set and be at the top of the game and then go in the changeover and then come out in the second and look like a fucking scrub. It's insane. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a feisty one. I'm quite certain of that. Over 3.5 sets in this. As soon as I looked at it, I went, yeah, a set apiece. You'll look at it with Nuno Borges as a dog and go, oh yeah, he beat him a couple of years ago. You'll assess the situation, compile all the information and go, yeah, you know what, I probably wouldn't mind with Cerundolo on this one. But 0-1, I ain't seen fuck all from this guy. I ain't. Especially not enough to suggest he should be 1.5 as a favourite against Nuno Borges. I mean, Cerundolo's never done nothing on the grass either. You know, we sit here and say Nuno Borges, 8-13 on the career, 9-10 for Cerundolo. You pick your poison on this. I cannot see Cerundolo coming out and winning this one easy as 1-2-3, as the Jackson 5 would say. Over 3.5 sets. Don't even think about it. Don't overthink it. Will I be going for it? Probably not. If it's pinned, it's pinned. If it's not, it's not. Don't take it as gospel for those that do. Let me just remind you, the leans. And an official will be in that pinned comment. Over 3.5 will be the shout for that. We got Roman Safiullin, good old Safiullin, and Luciano Darderi. Oh, I'd be going with Roman Safiullin in this. Fuck. You'd have to. I wouldn't be picking it with a lot of conviction, if any, at all, but it'd have to be Roman Safiullin. He nearly beat Medjedovic. He did. I felt sick watching that match, but Medjedovic won. I needed him to. Happy days. There was plenty of times. I think more often than not, in that match, especially come that second and third set, I thought he was done. Safiullin can most definitely hang in there on the grass. Darderi played in the Hurlingham exhibition. Got it done against Misolic 2-1. Don't let it throw you off. I wouldn't let it throw you off. This guy was on a 6 game losing streak prior to the exhibition. And how much effort people are giving him that, you can't be too sure. But then again, prior to Mallorca, fucking Roman Safiullin he was on the exact same 7 game losing streak. 2 of them bang out of form, well off the boil. Even with the recent win from the pair, absolutely not. I wouldn't touch this. I wouldn't bet a single penny on this, even if I did. This is probably over 3.5 as well. Roman Safiullin being 1.4, can you see him coming out and just dusting him aside? 1, 2, 3. I'm not too sure. We liked the performance against Nicholas Jarry. He didn't win it, but it was close. And we really liked this performance against Tsitsipas. That was even closer. It went the exact same, tiebreaker in the third. If you can keep it close with the likes of Nicholas Jarry and Tsitsipas on the grass, you should be able to take at least one set off of Roman Safiullin. That's just my opinion. But I haven't got any much more to say on that. I'm not going to waste any more time on it. So, who is next? I think we're around halfway, folks. Round halfway. Sound. We're nearly there. I appreciate you hanging in there. We've got Struff. Jan-Lennard Struff. And Filip Misolic. The head-to-head is 1-0 to the big German in this one. Straight sets. Bagel and 6-3 back in 2022. Doesn't really help us much in this one. I thought that win against Matteo Arnaldi in the first round in Stuttgart was going to be the beginning of the season for Jan-Lennard Struff. But no, absolutely not. He got that win against Van der Sandschulp in Madrid. And he's been getting beat by everyone. Getting beat by everyone before that. Beat Van der Sandschulp. He was getting beat by everyone again. Come the French Open. And then come the grass over in Stuttgart. We kind of got a free hit on him, didn't we? Kind of got a free hit. Early days in Stuttgart, we knew he was going to beat Matteo Arnaldi. He come and just blasted him off the court. And then he bumped into Jiri Lehečka in the next game. And he just didn't quite have the minerals in that. And then even in Germany again, coming up against Sonego, stood no chance. Stood absolutely no chance. Sonego just whipped the shit out of him, 6-3, 6-2. Filip Misolic, I'm getting flashbacks of that time. He's on a 9-game winning streak. We'll just say that he's won 9 of his last 10. 9 in a row. Majority of them being on the Challenger. Has got himself a Challenger title, the Poznan Challenger title to be precise, and then he's come through qualifying, dropped a set in 2 of the 3 games, dropped on to Benjamin Hassan, ultimately won that 3-1. Now, I'm not going to touch this simply because I will not forget last time, can't remember what tournament it was, I think it was on the clay. Filip Misolic was playing like an absolute beast, and Flavio Cobolli was playing like an absolute scrub, and they faced off against each other, and Misolic just crap his pants. His nerves were just shot to bits, and I'll never forget it. And I'm not saying he's going to turn up and do that now. This is a best of 5. Jan-Lennard Struff's most definitely seen better days, but a 9-game winning streak for Filip Misolic coming up against someone in a bit of a rut as Jan-Lennard Struff doesn't really mean that much to me. Over 3.5, you want to play it safe? Probably will be a close one. I haven't really paid that much attention to Filip Misolic ever since that Flavio Cobolli game, so I couldn't really tell you. Very slight dog in this, suggesting it could be a close one. I probably would lean with Jan-Lennard Struff just to edge it out, if anything, but I wouldn't be picking it with any conviction. Take the over 3.5 sets if you've got to touch that. And then we're not going to talk about you. We'll wrap you up towards the end. Got Carreño Busta and Chris Rodesch. Probably go with Rodesch on this one. I know a lot of you like this guy. You would constantly tell me about this guy through qualifying. He's decent. He's decent, man. I'll give him that. Decent little Dutchie. We like them. Got past Gigante, Mark Leal and Fuskovic over in qualifying. Can't remember who it was. There was definitely someone in the comments who was telling me to take Rodesch against Fuskovic. He was a decent little dog too. And prevail he did. So well done to you. Well done to you. You most definitely called that. I think he's going to beat Carreño Busta. I do. He hasn't played on the grass yet. What a way to make your transition to the surface coming into Wimbledon against someone with what is essentially 6 games under his belt already. He's won 4 of them, lost 2. That's the same thing with Carreño Busta all the time. You know how much I like him. I've got a lot of love and a lot of respect for the Spaniard, but it's been quite some time since I've seen this guy play at his highest level, and I do think his best days are well and truly behind him, and it is a shame to say, but Rodesch might just be a little bit younger, harder, better, faster, stronger, all that shit come the day. Currently clocking in around 1.5, and I tell you what, if you're taking a parlay, I feel like that may just have to be on it. I don't know, you let me what you think on that one. I would definitely go with the Dutchman on that. And you've got B.Harris and Dusan Lajovic. I'll be going with our Billy. I'll be going with our boy Billy on this one. He looked decent enough in Eastbourne, came back into that as a lucky loser after getting beat in qualifying, and he just pulled off back-to-back upsets, and he could have done it against Hugo Humbert. He had a close first set. Ultimately, it just unravelled for him in the second. No shame there. Dusan Lajovic didn't even qualify for fucking Wimbledon. Oh, what a surprise. Surprise. Yeah, Arctic Zone knocked him out of qualifying. I don't know who's pulled out, but he's back anyway. I'll be going with B.Harris. Simple as that. I've seen enough over in Eastbourne. That should do wonders for your confidence, I imagine. I'd most definitely fancy myself to get past Susan Lajovic over on the grass, especially pulling off those upsets. You know, no one thought he was going to beat Cam Norrie. No one thought he was going to beat Matteo Bellucci. Go and beat Dusan Lajovic. Everyone thinks you're going to beat him, so you best add go and do it, mate. 1.5. I'll be back on my boy to get that one done. Not too much more to say about that. We've got Andrei Rublev and Laslo Djere. Fucking speechless. It just frazzles my brain now with this guy, because it's Rublev in it. Every time it's just Rublev. We shouldn't even have to talk about it. But we do, and it's just swings and roundabouts with this guy every fucking time. Swings and roundabouts. He's won 2 games in a row, hasn't dropped a set in the Boodles, so it's I don't know, this guy's impossible. This guy's just impossible. He's 1.3 on the decimal. He's playing Laslo Djere. He should beat him. He's beat him 5 times before. Laslo Djere's beat him once in 2016. There you go, folks. Do with it what you will. I'm not even going to waste your time, because it's Rublev. It's good old Rublev, and you just don't know what he's going to do on the day. He is more than capable of beating Laslo Djere. There's actually not a lot of doubt in my mind that he does beat him today, but just in case he doesn't, just approach it with a little bit of caution, yeah, as we always do with the Russian. And then, who've we got next? Got Jacob Fearnley and João Fonseca. Should be very interesting indeed, especially off the games we seen these two put in last time out. Quite the contrast in performances, I'll say that. Last time out we seen João Fonseca play Taylor Fritz. He did get beat. Kinda had a feeling he would. I had Taylor Fritz to win that one. Probably wasn't ideal for Taylor Fritz or either of them. The way it went, they had to postpone that one and then finish that third set the next day. Jacob Fearnley, though, he looked absolutely fantastic against Flavio Cobolli, and then he came up against Marcus Giron the next day and looked absolutely awful. Marcus Giron done to him what Fearnley done to Cobolli prior to the meeting. I think this one will be decent. I think it'll be close. Jacob Fearnley, as we've said multiple times this season, most definitely came into himself, playing some solid fucking tennis. Same with João Fonseca. You kind of know what you're getting from this kid on the day, so you know what you're getting. You know the base level that you're getting. You don't really know how good he's going to play, but when he plays good, man, this kid plays really fucking good. He really does. He's a problem for most of them, and he'll certainly be a problem for Jacob Fearnley. I'm not going to say he's not. You're probably sitting there waiting for me to start doing the thing, but I'm fully aware of the danger of João Fonseca. I'm just going off what I seen last time out. I am. Not only that, they played each other twice before. We've seen this over at Indian Wells, and you'd say it was a close game. It weren't really. It was 2-1. It was an absolute shit show. 6-1. then 6-2 for Fonseca, then 6-1 for Fearnley, then 6-3 for the Brazilian in the end. Then he beats him on the Challenger, on the Canberra Challenger, straight sets as well. I'd fancy him to get this one done. I would. Yeah, surprise. Yeah. No, I think Fonseca beats him today. Obviously, I would love Jacob Fearnley to turn up and do the work, get the business done over Joao Fonseca today and shut everyone up, but unfortunately I don't think he will. Very, very, very concerning performance against Marcus Garon. I don't know what it was. You can call it what you want, but I didn't see Joao Fonseca act like that against Taylor Fritz. No sir, absolutely not. Over 3.5 sets. I think both of them should be good for at least one set, so you do with that what you will. And then who next? Right, we'll start fucking smashing these out, and then we'll wrap this up. Jensen Brooksby, Tien Griekspoor. Good old Brooksby and good old Griekspoor. Quick round of applause for Jensen Brooksby, really quick, folks. I mean, who'd have thought he was going to get to that final in Eastbourne after coming back as the lucky loser? Not me. Absolutely not me. He had one hell of a run as well. Commissania, Nuno Borges, Dan Evans, all in straight sets. Hugo Humbert upset in 3, and then got beat by Taylor Fritz in the final. No shame in that. Absolutely no shame in that whatsoever. I thought Tien Griekspoor looked good. He looked good, didn't he, man? Over in Mallorca, we had a feeling he'd win that. Gutted for Mutet. A bit gutted for Corentin Mutet. I'd like them to win that, but not a lot you can do when Griekspoor's playing the way he is, unfortunately. That was his first tournament on the grass, and he beat everyone in straight sets. He come over to the grass and he made it look a hell of a lot more easy than what we've seen pretty much everyone else make it look. Ethan Quinn, Diallo, Felix and Mutet, all in straight sets, easy as you like. And I fancy him to get it done against Jensen Brooksby too. Does lightning strike twice every now and then? You never fucking see it though, but it does happen. After not qualifying for Eastbourne and then getting to the final, I didn't expect them to even get past. Well, I don't know, actually, the draw probably weren't that bad until he got to the semis in hindsight, but so you never know what you're going to get from these lucky losers. That'll definitely give him a bit of inspiration coming in to this matchup. Griekspoor is just a different beast. He's just a different beast. He's better than Jensen Brooksby pretty much everywhere, I'd say, unless we were in the States, and then that'll make things a little bit different, but I can't help but think that Tien Griekspoor gets this one done. I really do. I don't know how Brooksby's going to hold up after going to the final and having a quick turnaround, but then again, same could be said for Tien Griekspoor. He's just a lot more trustworthy in the spot. He should be good to go. Best of 5 as well. This could be, you're going to see tiebreakers probably. It's Tien Griekspoor. Look at it over. Look at a tiebreaker or 2. Maybe look at Brooksby for a set if you want. Over 3.5 sets. Couldn't talk you off that. Ultimately, I am expecting Griekspoor to come off victorious on that. And then I think we will go through a couple more and then we'll touch on these very big favourites and then we'll call it a night, folks. So we've got Shintaro Mochizuki and Julio Zeppieri. Now, I've left a couple out, but I haven't left this one out, and you're probably saying, you're fucking talking about this and you're not talking about X, Y, and Z. Just fucking shut the fuck up, alright? Mochizuki's decent, man. Mochizuki's decent. I can't remember specifically. In fact, you know what? I'll tell you right now which one it was. I should have it here. There was a tournament last season where he came in as a dog and he just pulled off upset after upset after upset. Where was it, man? Was it even last year? It may have been the season before. Jesus, was that really the season before? Was that 2023 when he was doing this? I don't know. It's neither here nor there anyway. Your point being, he's good. He's not that bad. He's a decent player, man. Especially coming up against Zeppieri as well. It's a complete contrast in styles. This guy's a clay guy. He does the majority of his business on the clay, and that's even if you could say that. 11-9 on the clay, 3-3 on the hard, 3-0 on the grass for Zeppieri. Obviously, all of them coming through qualifying. Same for Mochizuki, he's come through qualifying too, but he has went 10-2 on the grass so far this year. Did get to the semi-final in the Nottingham Challenger. He's been playing decent, man. He's been playing decent. Both of them are roughly the same age. I do think these conditions probably suit Mochizuki a lot more than what they do with Zeppieri. I probably would side with the Japanese dude in this one. What's the price, you may ask? Call it 1.5, 1.55. You may or may not know anything about this guy, but I don't think it's a bad shout. 1.55 seems to be an ideal parlay piece for me. And then, look, we'll wrap this up with this one. We've got Gabe Diallo and Daniel Altmaier. I'd go with Gabe Diallo. I think it's safe to assume Gabe Diallo's going to come out guns blazing in Wimbledon. Fantastic in Den Bosch, decent enough in Queens, and then decent enough over in Mallorca until he ran into the eventual winner in selling Griekspoor. Daniel Altmaier's Daniel Altmaier. What you see is what you get. You kind of know what you're going to get. Beat him in the Davis Cup last year and then on the clay due to retirement in 2023. Doesn't really help as much in this. I don't really think it matters. We've seen enough with Diallo, haven't we? We know now. We know now how deadly this lad is on the grass. Surely he's got this in the bag. Surely he's got this one in the bag. He's won 8 of his last 10. 8 of his last 10. Talking 5 in his last 10 for Daniel Altmaier. Look, he's tricky. He's tricky. The one thing I respect about Daniel Altmaier, he always gives it a go. Regardless of whether I think he's going to win or lose. If it was on the clay, completely different story. We're not on the clay, we're on the grass. Gabe Diallo has just been smacking the shit out of people the past couple of weeks on the grass. I'd imagine if he would have played Daniel Altmaier over in Queens, over in Den Bosch, over in Mallorca, the pick would have been the exact same. I would be going with the big giant in that one. And that's going to do us, folks. And as for these big favourites, really quickly, look, you'll know what I mean. So, look, Lehechka against Hugo Delene, 1.001 for Lehechka. Makes me want to vomit. Makes me want to vomit. The only way you find them value in these, you don't need me to tell you that these fucking colossal favourites should be getting this done and advancing deeper into the tournament. But for those that complain about value, you're just going to have to take the dogs on the spreads. You bite the bullet, you take the dogs on the spreads, you take the over. You pick your poison, it is what it is. Lehechka's playing Delene. 1.0 is fucking 1. Disgusting. Lehechka gets that done. Big Foe is playing Elmer Moller. Now it's Big Foe. It's Big Foe. It's a slam. He'll probably come out and look like Federer today after he's looked fucking dump the past few months. He ain't been that good on the grass. He's went 0-3 on the grass, Elmer Moller, yet to have a game. It should just be the levels. It should just be levels. Elmer Moller's good, but I don't think he's fucking Big Foe good. Let's say Big Foe good. Let's just say top 50 and top 20 good, and leave it at that. Daniel Medvedev's playing Benjamin Bonzi. Got to be Medvedev. Got to be Medvedev. Couldn't be picking Benjamin Bonzi to get that one done against Medvedev there. Who else is the L.Harris? Fabio Fognini, get the fuck out of here. As if... what are they doing? What did he do? Look, I said L.Harris wins this. I've been saying it since the start of the month, and I still think he wins it. But looking at the draw he's going to end up getting... I mean, look at that. Fabio Fognini, that's some bullshit, that. We've got Felix Auger-Aliassime, James Duckworth. Now, Felix is 1.2. Nowhere near as big as the rest of them. He should be getting it done. But you know what I say, 1.2 to 1.3, that is the price you have to pay for Felix to ruin your entire day. So approach it with caution. Matteo Berrettini, Camille Mascherach should be Berrettini. I feel like I haven't seen him in ages. Mascherach's a decent player, don't know how he's going to react on the grass. So I ain't got anything for that. And then, I'm pretty sure there's one or two more yet. Taylor Fritz, Gio Pesci Pericard. Fritz, massive favourite, just better than Gio. Coming off the title, a little bit of a quick turnaround for him, so I'm not too sure Regarding the stamina levels, the gas tank, how much he's going to have left. Is Taylor Fritz going to be running on fumes? I hope not, because he could be in for a very, very solid week, providing he can play the way he's been doing since the start of the grass season. So I'd have to go with Fritz in there. And then wrapping this shit up, we've got Artur Rinderknech, Alexander Zverev, 50 minutes on the nose, longest one we've ever done. But it is what it is. It's just got to be that way, especially for the first couple of days anyway. There's a shit ton of games, not a lot to go on about, but there is a hell of a lot of matches to mention. And here's the last one. We've got Zverev, Artur Rinderknech, 1.1 for Zverev, first round Wimbledon. You've got to win. You've just got to win. And if you don't, you're a fucking pussy. No, I'm only joking. You can't get beat by Artur Rinderknech. Artur Rinderknech, if he comes out and serves well on the surface, he should be able to keep it close enough, I would imagine. How close is close enough in a spot like this? Currently clocking in around 6.5, 7 to 1 for the French in this. Like I said, big dogs, massive spreads with it being a best of 5. Probably very low totals as well, so you play it either which way you want. But whichever way you go about it, it's entirely up to you. We make our decisions ourselves. Anything I'm going for will be in that pinned comment. Make sure you're checking that out for the third and final time. And with that being said, I'll be saying good night to you folks. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. These videos will become shorter throughout the week, so don't be worrying. But the timestamps are there, all the chapters are in anything specific you want. Just go and look for that. If you just want the picks for the picks, then just look at the pinned comments. Entirely up to you. But very well, folks, you take it easy. You take it easy, you take care of yourselves, you take care of one another. It's the most important thing. If you like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that. You'd be a lot cooler if you did. And I'll see you tomorrow, yeah? Enjoy day 1 of round 1. Best of luck to you, as always. And I'll see you later, yeah? Good night, folks. Enjoy the matches today, and I'll see you tomorrow.